What's up? Sam the Glad Woodrow again. Matt, if you want to be calling me by my real name and all that bullshit. Anyway, I'm back again. Another episode of Beneath the Surface, where I talk about some music of hip hop culture. I talk about the just different elements of hip hop culture, which is going to come down the road at some point. I'm just going to talk about different elements and how they fit into my frame of mind and how I look into it. That is the elements of hip hop culture. Anyway, Beneath the Surface, where I mainly want to talk about the stuff that doesn't get talked about much, be it albums or concepts or ideas or thoughts. Anyway, this one is going to be an album again. We're going to talk about an album that is under-listened to, underappreciated, under-talked about, overlooked, if you will, but why I don't understand, because we're going to talk about it. Anywho, that's what we're saying here. The album I'm going to talk about today, or in this video, because today might be a different day when you finally get to watch it. But the album I'm talking about is an album called STS and RJD2. This is a collaboration between Atlanta rapper Sugar Tongue Slim, or STS for short, and Columbus, Ohio DJ producer RJD2. Simply titled STS RJD2. This album came out in 2015, and I'm not sure how it went overlooked as much as it did. I know there are a lot of heads out there that are really into this album as much as I am, probably more. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be. I don't think I'm holding the crown as far as like the one that's most into this album. But to give you a little backdrop on this, a little backstory on me coming to this album. A friend of mine, who is also a hip-hop head, came to me one day, handed me this album while I was at work, and said, "You need to listen to this fucking album." And I saw it said RJD2 on it, not knowing who STS was at the time. Maybe heard him talk about him a few times, but not totally knowing who STS was at the time, but knowing who RJD2 is, and knowing that he's been one of my all-time favorite producers and DJs for a number of years anyway. So I'll give anything that he makes beats for at least a listen, or two, or three, or a bunch. Because RJD2 is a pretty dynamic producer and does a lot of great things with his production. So I'm like, I'll give this shit a listen. And it's funny because like at one point my friend told me, he's like, "You're gonna be totally into this fucking album." I'm like, all right, whatever. I mean, I didn't say whatever, but I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try because I trust this friend when it comes to this type of stuff. So I put it on, and the first track is called "Doing It Right." Heavy horn samples going on here, really cool, like dun, 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 beat. I mean, it just had my head nodding immediately. I'm talking like fast. First couple, like I hear the sample, I hear the beat drop, I'm like, all right. RJD2 is not disappointing me, so let's go on. Let's see what else I got with this. And STS starts rhyming, and he raps his ass off from the get, and raps his ass off. And I'm like, all right, this is the kind of party we're listening to here. This is a party. This album so far sounds like a party. And then the song is perfect. Perfect beat, perfect rhyme. That Southern Atlanta flow is right there with it. And I'm like, all right, this is a dude that is definitely a son of Outkast. And he mentions that a bunch on this album, that like he was born out of like Atlanta style. So he was born as a child of Outkast. That he was raised up on Big Boy and Andre 3000. And he doesn't get shy about saying that. He tells you where he's coming from. I'm just going to kind of go track for track here, really. Trunk of My Computer, where he's talking about like, the new age of how albums get sold these days. Being we're in the streaming generation. We're in the, buy a song, load it up on your phone generation. So like, he goes off on it, and trunk of my computer, trying to sell 1 million from a trunk of my computer is how he goes with that. And then it's a dope song, and he continues that flow. He continues what he built up on the first track, and then brings that party feel back on it with track number 3, Hold On, Here It Go. I mean, he just there's moments of that song where he just like, you hear what he's doing verbally, and you're like, and like, yeah, STS just brings it over another really dope beat from RJD2. Like, RJD2 is not going to let you down at all through this whole album. Every beat fucking kills. So it's like, it's not gonna be anything less than that party I'm talking about. Then he does a song, and I'm not usually one who listens to like weed anthems. I'm all for legalizing weed, you know, and I've been around the block with it, but I'm usually not one that listens to a weed anthem and thinks like, okay, this is a dope song. 420, track number 4 on this album, is a dope fucking song. So good. Don't Get Played, He Keeps Going, so fucking good. Featuring Amos Lee, who, if you know anything about Amos Lee, not a hip-hop dude. Probably listens to a lot of hip-hop, but that's what it is. Tennessee Whiskey Revival, dope fucking song again. Cruising, okay, he's just talking about like doing his thing in this car. It's great. Speaking of cars, All I Wanted Was a Caddy. All I Wanted Was a Cadillac. That song is super dope too. Even when he gets deeper with Monsters Under My Bed, which is a dope beat. Again, I can't say that enough. I'm gonna try not to say that all the time, but Monsters Under My Bed, he gets serious on that song. STS gets serious lyrics on that song, and it's fucking great. He just doesn't let up. Dice Game, another one of those times where he gets a little serious in his lyrics, but his skill is way too high. His skill set is way too high to let you down on that. Fancy Car, Family Values, another kind of where he like dips in and out of like fun themes and serious themes, but he's so dope in his delivery on that, just so good. And then the album ends with this song called Fuck With That, and it's just such a perfect cap on a really good album. I mean, I have no idea how this gets overlooked so often. STS very, very quickly became one of my favorite rappers on this album. And he just murders RJD2's beats on this. Just goes to town on really dope beats from 1 through 12 tracks, compact album. It's a quick album. It's a I want to say it's about a 40-minute album. I don't know how long altogether, but it's like, it gives you everything you need in 12 tracks real quick. How it does it, I don't know. It's some sort of fucking magic between STS and RJD2. But it never lets you down, never lets up. It often sounds like a party. Even the serious songs sound dope. Give it a listen, guys. Talk about overlooked. This is Beneath the Surface, man. Episode 2. STS, RJD2. Dope album. Came out in 2015. Give that shit a listen. I'll drop you some links to the track you're hearing underneath, which I did. I'm going to try to drop you some links to some of their videos. Give them a listen. Worth the time, worth the effort. Dope. STS, RJD2. This has been Beneath the Surface, episode 2. See you on the next time. Again, as always, actually, before I sign out, if you have any suggestions for albums I should listen to, like overlooked classics or overlooked gems, comment below. Let me know. Yeah, this has been Woodrow, Beneath the Surface 2, Episode 2, STS, RJD2. Go listen. Peace.